Hey, how's it going everyone? Teysind here, and today I just wanted to give my thoughts on discontinued video games and consoles. What does it mean to me, and what does it mean to you too? How do you feel? And when you talk about discontinuation, it can occur, and I guess you can have different responses or experiences to it. For example, a console like the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 had a very long life cycle. Same with the PlayStation 2, for example. So when they were announced to be discontinued at a certain point in time, it's a very sad moment because, in a sense, you look back on this great life cycle of a console, and all consoles do have their ups and downs, but you remember, you have this huge library of games, you own the console, in many cases, and to me, I realized, like, at that point, this is the moment the shelf life of the console starts ticking. Every console is used from that point onwards and is slowly aging. There's no more newer copies being manufactured and coming out. So that is sad. Same goes with games. Some games, it's sad in the sense when those games all of a sudden start becoming very expensive and rare. And in many cases, or in some cases, maybe they've been, discontinued with a limited print run. So it does make it quite, essentially, when you're trying to find that game in the future and you realize this, it's limited quantities, it's rare, it's become expensive as a result, then you start to feel sad that those games were discontinued when they were and they weren't printed longer, for example. And then, when we look at things like consoles, for example, being discontinued, I'd say abruptly or prematurely. I guess it's relative to what you think is premature, but perfect example is the NES Classic Mini. It's just been announced to be discontinued in North America, I think, with production, or at least it's being supplied to stores, I think, until the end of June or so. Don't quote me on that because obviously it differs here in Australia. And I feel that's not so much a sad feeling, but I feel sort of I don't know, a bit lost for words. I felt like it came out, it had a low supply and high demand from what we can gather as consumers. I guess we don't know all the numbers. Only to all of a sudden just come back in stores here, at least, for just literally 24 hours online, all sold out, and then being announced that in North America, at least, it's being discontinued. It's sort of like, well, it wasn't essentially being continued throughout that whole time. It felt like it just had 1.5 shipments. This one shipment back at the end of last year, limited, and then all of a sudden, sort of like a little small shipment at the moment, and it's gone, and it baffles me. I thought, this is a perfect opportunity for Nintendo to make some great money, and not just from the money perspective, but these are a lot of the games that are included in the NES Classic. People have grown up with. People that maybe don't play games anymore, and all of a sudden it's sort of reignited something, or maybe they still do play games, but maybe the NES is broken, or they just don't have those games anymore, or something like that. Maybe they played them a few times. It's a great chance to go and play some of those classics. There's like Castlevania, Final Fantasy. I'm not sure if Dragon Warriors was on it, Dragon Quest maybe or so, but there were so many great games on that NES Classic, and I thought, even newcomers to get in and play some of these, sort of old 2D games. I thought, for the spirit of gaming, it would be great to have more copies and being sold for longer, to sort of, as I was saying, this whole spirit of just for the gamers. But I guess a lot of things do come down to money, and in this situation I'm not sure why the decision to discontinue it is good for profit, because I felt like, unless maybe it's because they don't want to draw sales away from the NES games on the Switch, or maybe they're looking to bring a SNES Classic Mini, shortly after. Who knows? But I guess using that as an example, it does bring mixed emotions about discontinuation and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure everyone has, many of you have different feelings about things that are being discontinued. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think in general, both from past experiences as well as current experiences, using the NES Classic as an example. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sharing and subscribing, and until next video, stay spot on.